Welcome to week 20 of the Industry Readiness Program. This closes month 5. Your feature gets a security review on real code, a tenant isolation proof, contract tests, and ships to production behind a flag. 13 minutes. The week 17 draft was hypothetical. Now the code exists. Walks right against the actual diff, not against what you intended to write. You'll find at least one thread the spec missed. That's the point. The review exists to catch what slips past the brief. On screen, the tenant isolation test. Sign in as a user on tenant A, see the ticket on tenant B. Call the ticket endpoint with ACE token. Expect 404, not 200 with masked fields, not 403 which leaks existence. And assert the response body never contains the tenant id field. This test prevents the classic cross-tenant leak bug. Auth review on the real code. Redirect URIs. Locked to exact match. No wildcards. Token lifetime. Short access tokens at 15 minutes. Refresh tokens at 30 days. Refresh rotation. Every refresh issues a new refresh and invalidates the old one. Revocation. Sign out actually kills the refresh token server side, not just the cookie. Scope validation. Each endpoint checks the required scope claim. Clock skew tolerance. 30 seconds, not 5 minutes. Input validation boundaries. The HTTP request body. Query string plus headers. Message queue payloads. Webhook callbacks. Language model tool call arguments. All boundaries. Rules, XOR, or JSON schema strict. Additional properties false. Regex length limits to prevent redos. Integer bounds to prevent overflow. Enum for state fields, never free text. No input that bypasses the boundary gets to handler code. Injection classes. SQL injection. Parameterized queries via Prisma. Never string concatenation. HTML or XSS. React escapes by default. Never dangerously set in HTML with user input. Header injection. Strict carriage return and line feed before echoing user input into a header. Log injection. Structured logs only. No template concatenation like logger.info user set plus X. Prompt injection. System prompt cache controlled, user input clearly marked. Refuse the tool call if a system prompt leak pattern is detected. No secrets. No personally identifiable information. No full request bodies. One leaked log line ruins a compliance audit. Enforce at the logger with a redaction filter that scrubs authorization headers, set cookie, emails, identifiers, JWT bodies. Test the filter. BISTEC has a regression test that injects a fake secret and verifies it never appears in the log sync. Daily, Dependabot scans for common vulnerabilities, opens a pull request per finding, auto-merges patches if tests pass. Weekly, Renovate proposes minor and patch bumps grouped by category. Never curl pipe bash. Ever GitHub /user/repo in package.json. Audited registries only. On screen, a Pact consumer test in the triage UI. Import Pact v3 and the matches v3 helper. Create a new Pact v3 instance with consumer and provider names. Add an interaction upon receiving a list tickets request with method g8 and path/tickets will respond with status 200 and a body matching an array of objects each like an ID in priority. Both consumer and provider run this in continuous integration. A Pact broker stores the contract so any drift fails both sides together. Ship behind a flag. 1% internal BISTEC users only. Metrics sanity check. 10% pilot tenants. 24 to 48 hour soak. 50% half the cohort. Budget burn monitored closely. 100% full rollout. 14-day stewardship begins. Any tier that breaches the SLO threshold, flip back to the previous tier, investigate, resume only when metrics recover. Month 5 artifacts. Week 17, the signed off brief with PRD, architecture, ADRs, threat model, ops plan. Week 18, infrastructure scope plus skeleton, bicep modules, OIDC, staging live, rollback tested. Week 19, observable system with custom events, slow, alerts, dashboard, tracing. Week 20, secured and shipped with a stride pass, tenant isolation test, Contract tests, feature flag at 100%, 4 weeks. 1 feature, shipped. Week 20 deliverable. 3 artifacts, stride pass, code level threat model. New threats found are flagged and fixed, or formally accepted via an architecture decision record. Contract tests, Pact consumer and provider test screen on the main branch for all integration points. Feature flag at 100%. Gradual rollout complete, all tenants on, observability shows stable. Month 6 is the capstone, portfolio demo day placement. The takeaway from week 20 and the close of month 5. 1 feature shipped, spec, infrastructure, observability, security, end-to-end ownership on a real BISTEC product. Coming in month 6, weeks 21 through 24. Week 21, portfolio curation. Week 22, Toastmasters for demos. Week 23, demo day rehearsal. Week 24, placement, NAITA sign-off, and graduation. File today's training diary entry. See you in week 21.